Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be work affairs. I've got an email here from a viewer who is basically having an affair with one of his female coworkers who just so happens to live with her boyfriend and her son. So you can see this is obviously can be a dicey situation. So he asked my opinion on this. Because when the first sentence in his email is, she's been in a bad relationship of 2.5 years. So that tells me his mind says, I'm going to save her from her bad relationship and then I can get her all to myself. It's a wrong kind of mindset. So I got a quote that I wrote on this topic, and then we're going to go through his email. And the quote says, when it comes to your personal life, your professional life, or the kind of life and lifestyle you want to create for yourself, you need to become crystal clear about what your outcome is first. You must also learn to see things as they are, not better than they are or worse than they are, so you can be realistic and make choices based upon the reality of the value people and circumstances can bring into your life. Some people are great sex playmates, but terrible relationship partners. Some people are great lovers and very loyal to be in a relationship with, but their lack of communication skills makes a healthy and loving relationship with them impossible. There's also people whose lives are so full of drama, dysfunction, challenges, strife, and calamity that they're simply too toxic to allow into your life in any way, shape, or form because of their destructive nature. If you can discipline yourself and maintain your emotional self-control, you'll only allow lovers into your life who are aligned with your relationship goals instead of deluding yourself into falling in love with someone's potential and inviting them to make your life a living hell. So let's take a closer look at his email, and it's a dandy. It's Jim Dandy. He says, hey Corey, I've been friends with a girl from work who has been in a bad relationship of 2.5 years. We developed feelings for each other. How nice. She still lives with her ex because she can't afford to move out, and her son moved in with both of them. Oh, so it's an ex she's living with. We started texting each other because I wasn't sure if I wanted to date anyone from work. Finally, after weeks of texting and getting to know her, I told her I think we should take a chance and hang out. Well, I had a woman I wrote about in my book. She posed for Playboy, and she lived with her ex-husband and their kids. And their kids are such fucking brats. She was one of the most beautiful women I've ever fucking dated in my life. She was fucking smoking. Blonde, bombshell. Oh, just fucking gorgeous skin, eyes, everything. It was just a fucking weird situation. Never felt comfortable going over there to pick her up. It was just odd. He says, so after he said they should take a chance and hang out, we went out for a night of drinks, and she ended up spending the night. We didn't have sex, but she did everything but. After reading your book, I realized I was doing so many things wrong. See, I wouldn't get involved in a situation like this. It's just kind of messy. If you want to have a relationship with somebody, you want to be in a relationship with somebody that's strong enough to leave the relationship. Not, oh, I'm going to live with my ex because I can't afford anything else. Think about that. I mean, think about that. Would you want to live with your ex, your ex-wife, your ex-boyfriend, your ex-girlfriend, or whatever? I mean, if you're a man or a woman watching this, while you're dating new people, wouldn't that be kind of awkward? Especially if they weren't happy about the breakup, or maybe deep down they kind of want them back. Or want you back? Think about it. You just never really know what's going on in people's minds. I invited her over for our second date to give her a Christmas present. Oh, a bribe for sex. I gave her concert tickets for next summer, and I told her that we could make a weekend of it. Dude, it's a second date, and now you're already asking to spend a whole weekend with her in 6 months. You haven't even fucked her at this point. I fucked up by putting this sappy poem in the card with the concert tickets thinking she would like it. We ended up having sex for the first time, and she spent the night. Well, I guess the bribe for sex kind of works. Well, obviously you did enough right to not talk her out of sleeping with you. But it's just too much too soon, dude. Because you're thinking like a guy that wants to have a relationship. Remember, she's living with an ex. So obviously on some level, she's still dealing with the feelings of a breakup. She lives with this guy. You don't really know it. Maybe they occasionally hook up and they fuck every now and then. Maybe she's just not strong enough to leave him and go and be on her own. We both had to work the next morning, and when we left, we made out and everything seemed great until I texted her a joke 2 days later and she didn't respond. Well, I guess that bribe for sex wasn't so great after all. It was too much. You're thinking like a boyfriend, and she's still living with her ex. You know how weird that is? I waited for her to text me, which she was doing almost every day up until that point. Nothing, he says. So what happened? Her interest was going whoop, and then went. It was just a casual fuck buddy. That's really all that this woman is good for at this point, because she doesn't have the strength. She's too weak to leave and go create a separate life for herself. And on top of that, it sounds like she's pretty much blown you off. 6 weeks later on Christmas, I texted her, and so now you didn't wait for her to reach out to you. Now you're texting her again. I texted her on Christmas, and I said, Merry Christmas. I know things are super busy at this time of the year, but I was thinking about you this week, and I hope you're doing well. Looking forward to catching up once things slow down. In other words, I couldn't wait. You never texted me back the last time, so I'm trying again. I'm being persistent like they show in the movies. I'm acting like a creepy stalker like they show in the movies. Think about it. You're basically having a discreet affair with a coworker who still happens to live with her ex-boyfriend. When you act this way, you're no longer the guy that's down with just having casual, no-strings-attached sex. Because she realizes the more she interacts with you, the more you're like dopey, goo-goo gaga, and you just can't handle it. And so the longer she interacts with you, the higher the likelihood that you're going to get all hung up on her and get your heart broken when she backs away, and then she's going to have to work with you. Think about it. You're not bringing a drama-free thing into your workplace. And so that's why she's just pushing you away, because, quite frankly, she doesn't think you can handle it. She responded, thank you, Merry Christmas to you too. Notice how much shorter her response was than your two. I mean, her response is maybe about an eighth as long as your response to her. What does that tell you? Oh yeah, thanks, Merry Christmas. She's in a good mood. It's Christmas Day, but it's like I said, it's about an eighth the size of what you texted her. Because remember, dating is like a game of tennis. You hit the ball over the net, and you wait for the other person to hit it back. And she didn't hit it back, and then you started to shoot more balls over the net. You're making yourself look weak, needy, desperate, controlling, fearful. Not things that are going to create sexual attraction for you. Obviously, she's lost interest. Yep. I haven't sent her another word since then, and I only see her at work. She hasn't been ignoring me at work, though I would like to think a girl who has lost interest would. In fact, it seems like she's going out of her way to walk by my office and ask me work-related questions. Well, the key is she's asking work-related questions. So if it's at the end of the day, like on a Friday or whatever, and she stops by and she's like, hey, I mean, if she's bringing up things talking about outside of work, then when you leave, you go, hey, call me later. Give me a call this weekend if you want to get together and do something. I'd love to see you. And that's it. Never call or text this woman again. She lives with her ex-boyfriend, dude. But you could have some fun with her, some no strings attached, fuck buddy kind of relationship. But you're fucking it up by over pursuing and acting all sappy and like you want to have a relationship with her. She's not relationship material, but you can have a great friends with benefits kind of relationship with her. And it sounds like that's what she was down for, but obviously through your actions you communicated that you just couldn't handle it. So I'm sure she digs you, but the bottom line is she can tell that you just can't handle it. You're coming unglued, and so that's why she's just backing away. Her son came in to see her, and she was telling him to go say hello to me before I left. She will come and tell me that she's leaving for the day and usually starts talking about personal things like how her Christmas was or how she's got to go deal with an issue about her son. Well, if she's talking about personal things, then you say, hey, well, if you're free and you want to get together, shoot me a text, give me a call. Other than that, I'll talk to you later. See you tomorrow. See you Monday, whatever it happens to be. It feels like she's really trying to get me to notice her because I've stopped texting and calling her. It sounds like it. I agree with that. And that's why you shouldn't do anything. Because it went where it was all business, and now she's starting to talk about personal things when she comes up and interacts with you. She's fishing. She's trying to see, is he dating somebody else? Did he lose interest? That's good. Remember, it's a scientific fact that women are more attracted to men whose feelings are unclear. Each day she seems like she is trying a little bit harder than the previous days. Now you're getting it, Skippy. I will be honest, I don't ignore her at work, but I don't go out of my way to talk to her. That's exactly what you should be doing. So good job turning that around. She finds me. When she comes to talk with me, I smile and respond and maybe ask her a few questions, something about what she just told me. Basically, I'm trying to act normal around her and not look like I'm mad, scared, worried, or anything other than indifferent, like it doesn't bother me that she stopped contacting me. Fucking perfect. Good job, dude. You're taking corrective action, and she's putting herself into your orbit. And like I said, she's bringing up personal things. I would just say, hey, if you want to get together, or if you're free this weekend or whatever, shoot me a text. Maybe we can get together, have a drink or something, or make dinner or whatever. Or maybe you can come by and make me a great home-cooked meal. And then afterwards, maybe you can sit in my lap and we'll see what pops up. Each day that she gets better, I keep thinking this will be the night that she texts me. How are you doing? You got to resist the urge to be impatient, because I know what you're thinking. Or what are you up to? And I can basically ask her when she's free to set up another date, but then later that night, nothing from her. That's why you got to do nothing, because you sent her several texts, and she was texting you every day, so we know she's the kind of woman who will definitely reach out to you. But you over-pursued to the point where she completely cut it all off. So since she cut it off, she has to reinitiate it. Remember, you sent her 2 or 3 texts, and she didn't respond to any of them. So therefore, it doesn't warrant your time. It doesn't warrant you sending her any more texts. Why? Because she took your text for granted. And you don't just text anybody. If you're texting somebody or contacting somebody, they need to make the effort to get in touch. So here's my question. It's been 11 days since we had sex and 5 days since Christmas when I sent her that text talking about catching up. I was going to just wait and give her space until she contacts me outside of work next and let her come back to me when her attraction to me is high enough that she's texting me again. Bingo, that's exactly what you should be doing. Should I then arrange another date? If she texts you outside of work, then you absolutely arrange another date, but she needs to come to your place. Or should I just ask her when she's leaving for the next day? No. You want her to reach out to you, and she's already proven that she'll do that on a number of occasions. So if she comes to you, like I was saying earlier, and she starts chatting, telling you what she's doing, or I don't have anything planned this weekend, then just say, hey, well, you know what? If you ain't got anything going on, shoot me a text, and maybe we can meet up or something. You want to encourage her to reach out to you. That way, if she reaches out to you, it's on her terms. It's her idea. And then you can invite her over, hang out, have fun, hook up. But like I said, I personally wouldn't get involved in thinking you can have a relationship with her. That's where you started to go wrong. Hang out, have fun, and hook up. Just be the fuck buddy while you continue to look for a good woman who would never be so weak that she'd stay in a situation like this. I mean, a woman who's got her shit together is like, I'm not going to want to live with my ex. She's going to go live with a girlfriend or a family member. She's going to get the fuck out of there. Obviously, she's trying to get my attention. I would say yes. It definitely looks like her effort to get your attention is growing, and that's a good sign. Just keep waiting until she actually starts reaching out to you again. No one at work knows we've been dating outside of work, so if I ask her, it has to be on the down low. Yeah, and you need to keep it that way. Do not talk to anybody about your affair. And if somebody brings up, say, I don't know what you're talking about. Are we dating? No, we're not dating. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know where you got that from. Say nothing to nobody. Because if you do, if you talk to somebody that you think is a friend of yours, it'll fucking get out because that is too juicy to resist. That kind of gossip just can't stay between you and whoever you tell. So don't say anything. Even if this girl happens to say something to one of her girlfriends and it gets back to you, just go, I don't know what you're fucking talking about. She's a cool chick, but no, I'm not dating her. I don't know what you're talking about. Besides, even if I was, I wouldn't tell you. Gentlemen don't kiss and tell. I don't know what you're talking about. She might not be ready for me to ask her out again, and I might not have given her enough time. Yeah, it's only been fucking 5 days since you texted her on Christmas, dude. You gotta wait for her to reach out. Remember, the game of tennis. She has to reach out after work, but if she comes by your office and starts talking about personal things again outside of work, and I'm not talking about work things, if she's only talking about business stuff, then keep it business. If she starts talking about personal shit when she stops by your office, then you say, hey, give me a call if you're free this week or whatever. You want to get together and make dinner or something. I'd love to see you. I got to get back to work, or hey, I got to run. Have a great night or whatever. And that's it. That's all you got to say. That is a low risk, easy way for her to come to you. But more than likely, she'll probably text you outside of work. But you're doing great. You've done a really good job of putting on the brakes, slamming on the brakes, if you will, and backing up and letting her come to you. But you should be dating other women. If you had some other options, you wouldn't be all over this girl like she's the last woman on the face of the earth. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.